Fox 61 Breaking News now.
We begin with breaking news now at 6. One person is dead following a jet ski crash on the Connecticut River. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Annette Montgomery. Police tell us it happened north of Selden Neck State Park, which is in Lyme. Fox 61's Kayla Kate joins us from the Chester side of the river. Now, Kayla, what did officials tell you about how this incident unfolded?
Is actually now dead after being thrown off that jet ski here in this water. And I've been actually talking with some people here out in the marina who says, you know, although they didn't see what happened, they did say it is a sad situation. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection says around 2 this afternoon, Encon police was flagged down by another boater on the Connecticut River. When police talked with witnesses about what happened, they learned a person riding a jet ski hit a wake, and then that person was thrown into the water. The person was rescued and rushed to a local hospital where they later died. Their name has not been released yet. Now, DEEP is investigating this incident, and we're going to stay out here all night to figure out any more details that they can give us to see what exactly else happened here. But for now, in Chester, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
Thank you so much, Kayla. Also developing right now, a massive fire destroyed half a city block in Waterbury, and now neighbors in the community are coming together to pick up the pieces. A total of 15 people were forced out of their homes, and 3 firefighters were hurt. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is live in Waterbury. Alicia, right now, a lot of people are just taking in all that damage.
Yeah, Annette, it's been an emotional day for those who lived and worked in these now gutted buildings. And a construction crew just came by a few minutes ago and boarded up the now broken windows to those buildings. And I spoke to the owner of this business here behind me. He says that he's owned the business for nearly 20 years, and now seeing it destroyed has left him lost and heartbroken.
My father worked here till the day he passed away.
Pedro Ocasio, the owner of La Boriqueña restaurant, lost his entire business in the fire. His father bought the restaurant in 1988, and Ocasio took it over after his father's death.
Everything you work for is right there.
Ocasio says he was on his way to Massachusetts to visit his mother when they got the call that his business was on fire.
We drove back, everything was on fire, and so, by the time, we were here till late, and pretty much when we left at 3 in the morning, it was still on fire.
Governor Ned Lamont and Waterbury's Mayor Paul Pernaruski toured the damage. Mayor Pernaruski says a police officer first noticed the flames coming from a building on South Main Street.
He called in the alarm. Within 2 minutes of the alarm, the fire department was there.
Although crews arrived quickly to the scene, the fire tore through 5 buildings. It destroyed nearly half the block and left 15 people displaced. Waterbury's Fire Chief Javier Lopez says 3 firefighters were hurt.
We had another firefighter who fell from the 2nd floor and got entangled on the way to the 1st floor. Luckily, his leg was trapped in a position that wedged him in between the floors, so he didn't fall all the way down.
He says the firefighters are now recovering. James Hansen was at home when the fire started.
And we had about 10 seconds to get out.
He says he smelled smoke.
I stood up and I saw smoke. I said, yeah, everybody get out of here.
Hansen and his family are now staying with a family member.
We have no clothes. We have nothing.
Hansen, a Navy veteran, is now hoping to get some help from Veterans Affairs. Ocasio says after losing his restaurant, all he has left are the memories he shared with his father. Now he's not sure what he'll do next.
Definitely this place is going to be knocked down, so we can rebuild right here. So we're going to wait a few weeks, see what we're going to do. If we're going to open somewhere else or rebuild.
The mayor says the city is now working with the Red Cross to help those who lost everything as the investigation continues. Live in Waterbury, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Well, weather-wise, we have a beautiful weekend ahead of us. So let's bring in meteorologist Sam Sampuri with the first check of the forecast. Sam, it's the perfect weather to do some things we love to do during the summer, like I see the pool forecast behind you.
That's right. Pool, beach, inland lake, down by the river. Beautiful weather for all outdoor activities. Temperatures in the 80s, and will gradually turn less humid tomorrow. And, if you're going to pick a day of the weekend, Sunday, but both days are fine. And right now, temperatures are starting to fall off a little bit. We're down into the lower and middle 80s as opposed to the mid to upper 80s, and dew points are dropping a little bit. We still have dew points near 70 in spots. but other spots it's starting to drop thanks to a northwest flow. A little bit of a sea breeze down along the shoreline, not much in the way of wind. Doppler shows a couple of spotty showers developing along a cold front, but for us, we're not expecting any severe weather. All that weather is all off to our south. I'll show you that quickly. There it is. We're not going to worry about any severe weather. Outdoor dining, not bad this evening. Temperatures will be falling through the 80s and into the 70s along the shoreline. And yep, we're going to have clear to partly cloudy skies, lows in the 60s. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny in the afternoon after some morning clouds. High temperatures topping out into the mid 80s in inland areas and around 80 along the shore. I'll detail the forecast for Sunday into next week. And that.
What is going on in the behind the scenes relative to Carmen Sierra being pushed out of her job, told not to return to the building after she gave them notice she would be participating in the transition, which she was. Okay.
Earlier today, Hartford's former city treasurer Carmen Sierra addressed the accusation that she improperly accessed her former office after retiring. She said essentially there was a good reason she came back, and therefore there was no good reason for her to be kicked out. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is at City Hall with more on the former treasurer's departure.
Just 2 days after Carmen Sierra retired, she returns to her office to what she says try to complete the retirement process, including returning city property. However, shortly after she arrived, she was escorted out by police. Sierra and her attorney believe this was unjust and want answers on what happened.
The question is, who made those calls? Why is the mayor not here? Why is his staff not here? And if they are, what happened? We want to know.
That was Sierra's civil rights attorney, Cynthia Jennings, demanding to know why Sierra was shut out from her office after she resigned. Both Sierra and her attorney claimed there was a retirement transition that needed to be completed, including processing with the city clerk, addressing staff, and returning security badges and key cards.
My purpose was to support my staff and to help ensure the transition was completely in a professional and orderly manner. I stated in my July 6th letter that I will be present to assist in the transition. The administration never contacted me or at any point prohibited me from entering the office. And the city never engaged in any exit interviews to collect the property.
In a statement to Fox 61, the mayor's office reiterated concerns it raised in a news release on Wednesday, saying, quote, "It is inappropriate for any former elected official to access secure city facilities without notice after vacating their position. The mayor remains steadfast in his commitment to ensuring transparency in the management of our city's pension dollars." Sierra's abrupt retirement came during an audit of the treasurer's office and of the state's pension fund, which is valued over $1 billion. However, Sierra said her leaving had nothing to do with the audit.
The recent loss of my mother, coupled with my father's declining health, has made it necessary for me to be fully present with my family.
The unfairness of her leaving because her mother passed and her father is sick is incredible. You're talking about possibly taking her away from her family to put her what, in jail? For what?
Sierra's retirement also comes a month after former city pension commissioner Sean Wooden resigned, citing concerns about structure and communication with the pension commission and Sierra. He said in his letter, "I want to underscore the current governance, operations, employee morale, and investment management by Treasurer Sierra raises significant fiduciary and ethical concerns that must be addressed." Sierra also addressed rumors that she was shredding documents when she returned. She says there's no shredder in her office, and her attorney says all documents are recycled through a shredding company who comes to pick up the documents, and then they send back a certification when everything has been recycled. Her attorney says they will continue their investigation into what happened. In Hartford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Thank you, Jamel. Well, Farmington police say they arrested a woman and charged her with murdering a man from Bridgeport. Cynthia Martinez now faces 4 charges in the death of 29-year-old Derek Mercado Labonte, including firearm charges. She's now being held on a $3 million bond. Police say they found Mercado Labonte dead in the woods behind an apartment complex back on March 19th and said he had multiple areas of trauma. Police haven't said at this time why they think Martinez killed him. Right now, the family of a Mississippi teen whose body was found after he was reported missing on the 4th of July is now pleading for more information. Nolan Wells was found after a boat trip with friends on Horn Island, and now this incident is leading to speculation and a debate over race relations. Lee Waldman shares the latest.
At the end of the day, that's all we want. We just want to know. We just want to know what happened and why our baby didn't come home.
Grieving parents Christine and Elmore Wansley are desperate to know what happened to their son, 18-year-old Nolan Wells. After a boat trip to a popular barrier island off of Mississippi's Gulf Coast on the 4th of July, his friends returned home, but Wells stayed behind.
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group.
Wells, a football player at a local community college, was reported missing on the night of the 4th. His body was found the morning of the 6th. The Jackson County coroner told CNN there was no immediate signs of physical injury, and the sheriff released a statement that no foul play was suspected.
We refuse to sweep it under the rug. We refuse to just let Nolan Wells' death be in vain.
Wells' family hired attorney Ben Crump amid concerns over how a racially charged investigation could be handled. Ocean Springs, where the Wells family lives, is nearly 79% white, according to the latest U.S. Census.
The history of Mississippi is something that they don't just read about in books, but it's a lived experience for many Black Americans.
Crump pointed to contradictions in several witness statements and the fact that Wells' friends had his phone. He says Wells' body has been flown to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy. Lee Waldman, Fox 61.
A Yale student is accused of sexually assaulting a woman on a subway in New York. 18-year-old Ari Stein is charged with aggravated sexual abuse and endangering the welfare of a child. That assault happened on the R train late last month. A Yale spokesperson said the university is aware of those allegations.